Hi, I'm making this video for the person that goes by Dam's Lifestyle. Now, you're interested in solar. I want to show you something. Now, this will affect not only my large panels, but my smaller panel as well. And I want to show you my smaller panel because it's easier for me to show you the differences. If you're deciding to get solar, you have to take into account things like weather, location, how many hours of the day and sun you have, shading, what kind of shade the trees put on your panels. All that has to be taken into account. Now, if you watched my little video on, I know you did, you commented on it, but the small light I have in here in the window, my small solar panel, I want to show you, it is kind of dark. There is rain. There are clouds. The solar is working, but I want to show you the difference. Now, I can't show you between then and now, but I can show you exactly how much power you're going to lose on days like this. Now I'm going to shut this light off. I do have my door still open. You see that? That is barely lit. That is wired straight to the solar panel. Let me back up here. Now I do have my door open, so there is light coming in. But look at that. Not much light at all. Now let me close my door. I should have done this in the first place. I apologize. Or at least close it to where it is. Now I do have my laptop open here. Let me put that down and get some of the light off there. This is it. Now understand, this is wired straight up to the solar panel in my window. Now let's kick this back on. You can see how dim that is. And that is a LED bulb. They are real energy efficient. Once again, this is it. Now I do have my door still cracked. Some light is coming in. Over there you can see. And it's like my microwave is putting out almost as much light basically as the light up here. Not quite, but it is very, very dim. That's because everything from weather to shade to how you position your solar panels will affect your panels. Understand, usually what happens is with a solar system, you have batteries that go out to an inverter or are wired straight up to some type of DC plug or something like that. Now, these solar panels charge your batteries. Let's get some light back on in here and open this door. Like here, those plugs I have there, those are 2 batteries in there. My solar charges the batteries. That's what they're made for. So you need to think, what is it that I want to run? Is it during the nighttime, during the daytime? Do I have good weather? Basically everything I have is for one thing. My chest freezer. That's it. I don't care about anything else. I want my food to stay good. That's all. I don't care about running my laptop. I don't care about charging my phone. But I do have a variety of different ways to do that. I have the solar panel out there on the camper. I can take my phone out there and other things out there and charge it out there. There's a battery out there. I can hook things up to my van. There's a difference between running DC appliances and AC. I'm not sure what you have, where you live. I have watched several of your videos. I've seen you cooking inside. I've seen you cooking outside. And you have an amazing garden. But you have to decide what you want solar for. Do not listen to anyone that tries to sell you something. You do not need to oversize your solar, but you need to have enough solar for what you want it for. Such as, I can generally charge things right here. Now, depending on how much light is outside, the light may or may not work at the same time. Can I charge anything high end off of this? No. It will not produce enough power to like run my battery charger down here. Now, I haven't wrapped it up for a reason. I cannot plug my battery charger up there. This pulls like 4 amps, right? Which is more than that solar power panel up there produces. But I can take this, plug it in out here on my batteries, right there, and it will charge and work. I can plug it in out there on my camper, or in my camper should I say, on the battery, and I can even use right here the solar charger controller with the right adapter. You have to understand the power amount you're wanting to use, what you're wanting to run. Do not listen to people. If they're trying to sell you something, run. In the United States, a lot of homeowners have found out that when they go with solar, it can cost anywhere from $30,000 to $80,000 for a solar set, for a solar system. Now, they're trying to run their entire house. I'm going to give you some advice. You're welcome to take it or not take it. Know what you're wanting to power. Such in my case, since I have all kinds of alternate lighting, I have candles. I have a hurricane lamp that uses lamp oil. I have little lights like this that are solar rechargeable. I have flashlights. I have push lights. They run off batteries. My main focus alone is on my chest freezer. I don't even care if my fridge runs. As long as the food in my chest freezer stays good, that's all I care about. I can't say what you need to buy. Nobody can. You yourself have to determine what you want to run. If you're just trying to run a few lights at night, you know, up until when it gets dark until bedtime or something like that, a smaller system may work for you. If you're wanting to run things like a refrigerator, then you need to kick that up. Now let's talk cost. The cost of a 400 watt panel set, just the panels, charger controller, and the cables to run to your batteries, is there anywhere from $470 to $600 just for the panels and the charger controller out here in this box. That's not counting the batteries. If you're wanting to run something like a chest freezer or a refrigerator, that generally uses an AC current, which means you have to have a DC to AC power inverter. Always get pure sine wave inverters. Modified sine wave inverters generally will work on a lot of things, but most things hate the sine wave a modified sine wave inverter puts out. Think about it this way. A pure sine wave inverter, you're driving up a hill, and then it goes down like this, smooth. A modified sine wave inverter, you're lucky to get up the hill, and then there's a straight drop off at the other side. That's what power modified sine wave inverter puts out. It's a dirty power. A lot of things do not like modified sine wave. So if you're going to try to run things for a very long time, you want a pure sine wave inverter, because a modified sine wave inverter can actually make some things overheat. Compressors, anything with a compressor, A lot of things do not like it. Televisions, computers, some light bulbs do not like modified sine wave. Pure sine wave inverters are much more expensive, but they tend to keep your appliances and things running longer because it has a pure sine wave. Modified sine wave makes appliances work harder. So depending on what your needs are or wants are, you may have to go with something like my set here, the 400 watt set with the 2 batteries. You may have to go with something like the 100 watt panel I have out on the camper. If all you're wanting to do is charge like a phone and have some way maybe to charge something during the day, the little set I have over in the window might be right for you. Only you can decide what's right for you. Once again, if you watch a video and the first thing they do is try to send you to a store to buy something, or they say we're sponsored by, you're welcome to watch the video. Just don't buy from them, because they're making money off of trying to sell you something that you may or may not need. When you're going with solar, know what you need or want to run, go from there. That's it. I can't tell you what to buy. No one else can tell you what to buy. But remember, weather like this, it's raining right now, weather like this affects solar. That is not just lighting stuff. If this panel was hooked up to my batteries right now, would it be charging? Yes, but it would be charging at a much lower rate than if the sun was out. That's barely putting out any light whatsoever. And it is 9:30 in the morning. That's not at night. This is in the morning, 9:30 in the morning. Weather, clouds have a lot of effect on solar. Most people will not tell you this. If you see my other video, you can tell how bright that light actually is compared to now. It's really dim. Let's plug this in. Right there. You see that? This shows you how little power that panel is actually producing. It just shut the light off. Just plugging this adapter in. There's nothing plugged into the adapter. First, that shows you how little electricity or power these bulbs actually use. Second, this shows you literally how little bit of power this panel is producing right now. Let's pull this out. See that? Just plugging this adapter in. That's it. Just plugging it in, due to the weather, kicked this panel down so much that it shut this little bitty light off. Now, if I tried to charge something right now, would it? Yes. But I could not have this light on. Yeah, leave that on. The reason I keep coming to the door is because of the light. I apologize. Once again, solar panels are good for charging batteries. That's what they're designed for. Can you use them without a battery? Yes. But it also depends on weather. It depends on the shading, how much shade is there. Heat affects solar panels. They work best when they're cold or cool. Do not let anyone talk you into buying anything. You have to sit down and figure out what you want to run, okay? Figure out what you want to run. What's a necessity to run. And then you size your panels. Always go larger by at least one panel. Now, my 2 batteries in here could run definitely and be powered off 300 watts of solar. But because of days like this is why I have the extra panel. because days like this will slow down your solar production so much that it will take much longer for your batteries to charge. Once again, you know, I watch your videos. I am so envious of your garden. It just looks great. And your rooster's a badass. But do not listen to me about what I have as far as my panels, as far as what I use my stuff for. Do not listen to anyone else. You have to know what you want to run, what's a necessity, how long you're going to want to run it. Always try to set your solar system up to run at least like 2 days, 2 nights, to be on the safe side. That's what I tried to do. Because, you know, once again, my most important thing is my chest freezer right over there. Nothing else matters. You have to figure out what's important to you or what you're trying to run. If you're just wanting to run some small lights, you know, make it through the night, you know, a single battery, maybe even a single solar panel can work for you. If you're wanting to run things like a fridge or something like that full time, you have to take into account weather. You have to take into account your solar panels are only going to produce power during a certain part of the day. They're going to be really good, and then during other parts of the day you're not going to produce a lot of power. You have to take into account your battery size and how long your batteries are going to last, and basically what you're trying to run. Figure out what you want to run, go from there. Always give yourself, I say, 2 days to be on the safe side, because if you have weather like this for 2 days, your panels are not going to be producing a lot of power, and you're going to be using power. So hopefully by the 3rd day the sun comes out and helps charge your stuff. If you have a lot of weather like this, where do you live? More panels, more batteries is what you're going to need to do. Especially if you're running large things like a fridge or a chest freezer. You know, like I said, I don't know what you're trying to run or want to run, but I've watched your videos and I don't see where you would need a giant setup that would be, you know, 10, 15, 20 panels. I don't see you needing that. Then again, I have not seen everything in your place just by your videos. But you and only you can decide what you need, what you're trying to run. Now, if you let me know what you're wanting to run, I can try to help you with that. But remember, here in the States, our appliances are 60 hertz, 110, 115, or 120 volt, and then we have like 220. I understand a lot of other countries use 50 hertz, and they're like 220. So, you know, you have to take all that into account for where you live and what you're trying to run. If you're wanting to run all 12 volt stuff, that's fine. But also know that 12 volt, the wiring for 12 volt costs way more, and it has to be larger to carry heavier currents. Yeah, my girlfriend brought this board in thinking I could use it to fix this porch, and it's way too skinny. That one's great, but it's not long enough. But days like this will affect your solar, and only you can decide what's right for you. I can't. No one else can. Like I say, don't listen to anybody. Don't even listen to me when it comes to saying go buy this or that. You have to decide what you want to run. You need to figure out, okay, what do I need? Is this going to be off a 12 volt, 24 volt, 48 volt? Am I going to be running a chest freezer, a refrigerator? How much sun do I generally get? And always try to figure this out for the worst time of the year, okay? Base your setup on the worst time. Like winter here, everything be covered in snow. And I would have to come out here and clear my panels off, and some days my panels would not see sun at all for 2 days. In your location, you may have rainy seasons, you may have, I don't know, dust storms, regular rain, storms, whatever. I have no clue about what you go through in your region. But size your stuff up for what you want to run and for the worst parts of the year. That will take you through the entire year without having to worry about losing food or anything else, or not having lights or something like that. Alright, I apologize, this is a 21-minute video. Once again, don't take my word for it. Don't take anyone else's word for it. If you like watching the YouTube videos, that's great. You can do that and make up your own decision. This is for Dam's Lifestyle. Also take into account cost per benefit. That is a big must. How much is this going to cost me? And what type of benefit am I going to get out of this during the lifetime of the solar system? Because if you're using batteries, especially lead acid, they do not have as long of a life as lithium ion. But for a good lithium battery, you are looking at $600+ US dollars. Now, I would tell people, if you're just wanting to run a couple lights, I would not go spend $4,000 on solar panels because of the cost. A large 3,000 watt DC to AC power inverter and 4 or 5 lithium batteries at $600+ a piece. If all you're wanting to do is run lights through the night, I'd say 1 or 2 100 watt panels. I would figure 2, 3, 4 at the most. I would get 2 to 3 lead acid batteries, dual cycle batteries, and that'll get you through a night without issue. But that's up to you. You have to figure out what you want to run. If you want to run some type of 12-volt water pump, you have to add that into your power usage, and you have to figure that extra charging time from your panels to your batteries. If all you're wanting to do is charge little petty things like the phone I'm using right now, take into account weather, of course. And yes, you can hook up something like this right here. Simple. But once again, see how dim that is? Now watch this. This only uses 1 amp. That's it. That's all that can pass through this. That did that for one reason, and only one reason. All power is coming straight from the solar panel. There is no battery, there is no charger controller. So that means if the sun is not out, or if it is real cloudy, real rainy, it affects the power that goes to the light, it affects the power that goes to this plug. That's why most people have batteries. But if you get a lot of sun, then something like that might work perfect for you. But if you get a lot of rainy days like this, where there's hardly any sun, you definitely need the extra panels, you need batteries, and a charger controller to power the things you want to power, even charge some things. Also, let's talk about solar generators. Those are nothing more than a small battery pack with some type of inverter built into them that you can charge from either wall or through panels. But usually they're limited on the amount of panels you can use to charge them. you're looking at a great deal of money. For the price of these two not even solar generators, power stations I have, which are basically solar generators, they can be plugged into a solar panel. My two small, very small power stations combined were around $400. And both of them combined will only run my chest freezer for around 20 hours, give or take. That's not even a full day and night. That's just 20 hours. Well, my solar set here, the 400 watt panels with my two batteries, will make it through the night, and even if it's a dingy day, the 400 watts of panels will charge up enough to get me through the next night. You have to know what you want. Then you have to figure out what size system you need. No one can tell you that. I can't tell you that. But understand, there is good and bad with solar. The bad, I've already shown you. Days like this, it doesn't work well. I showed you on my little panel how dim the light was. And if I plugged that little adapter in, it just killed the light. It's not producing enough power. Your big panels are the same way. On days like this, they lose production of electricity. They lose capacity to produce power. That means less power is going from the panels into the batteries. If you live in a real sunny region, can you wire a panel straight up and get a lot of benefit? Sure. Well, you don't have to buy expensive batteries or charger controllers or things like that, where you could basically just hook up some type of 12 volt plug or USB charging plug to a single 100 watt panel and you're good to go. But if you live in a region that has a lot of rain, maybe clouds, you're going to need more panels to produce the same amount of power that you would on a good day. If you had like 3 panels. If I had these 3 panels right here, just 3 of them, I'd be producing a lot less power. Right now, with 4 panels, those 4 panels are probably producing the amount of power that 2.5, maybe 3 panels are producing. That extra panel adds a lot on days like this. Alright, I'm fixing to go. This is for Dam's Lifestyle. If you have any questions about solar, I am more than willing to try to answer those questions for you before you jump into it. But understand, I don't know what you're trying to run. I don't know if you're trying to run something completely for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you just want something for backup power. Like I said, I have no clue. I don't know about your power requirements and the country you live. Whether it's 50 or 60 hertz. Whether you use like 120 volt, 115, 120 volt, 110 volt, or even 220. I have no clue about none of that. But think about the cost and the benefits. Is the cost going to overshadow the benefits? Or are your benefits going to overshadow the cost? Will this eventually pay for itself by you using it, you know, like either daily or once a week or once a month? Will it eventually pay for itself? Alright, that's it. I apologize. It has been 30 minutes here. Dam's Lifestyle. This is a video I made just for you. If you have any questions, please contact me. And once again, do not just go buy stuff from somebody. They're just out to make money. Alright. Have a good day or night. Dam's Lifestyle.